Hi, Jackie Hicks here with Jackie Hicks Photography, and I am in Luminar. I'm going to show you today how to decrease redness in the skin using this photo, which I have already brought in from Lightroom. I use Luminar as a plugin at this point. I'm going to be using color balance filters. So I've brought the photo in, and all I've done thus far is I went to add filters and I went to my color balance option. Now I started out with one color balance filter, and I'm going to show you the effect of that filter and then show you what I did to get it there. So this is off and this is on. I can also go to this little button up here and it will show me the before and after, and it can even do it partway in between so you can see the difference in the skin tones. Now all I did to get here is look at my color balance filter. It's divided into shadows, midtones, and highlights. I went into each of those and generally decreased the red channel to cyan a little bit, increased the magenta green to green just a little bit, and then decreased the yellow blue channel to yellow. Now I did that in the shadows and the midtones, and then I found that when I went into the highlights, I found that she was being a little bit too green. This was where I was. And so instead of increasing the green at that point, I just decreased her into the magentas a little bit to add a little bit more of a kind of peach look back into her skin, so that we're not red, but we still have some life and some color. So that was my first color balance filter. After that, I looked at the image and decided that her arms still looked pretty red. I was happy with her face, but I want her arms to look more like her face. So I went to my filters and added another color balance filter. I'm on the same layer, but I added another filter. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. For this one, I went to the midtones and highlights, and I wanted to add just a little bit kind of an orangey tone to her arms. Now I want you guys to just look at her arms right now, because this is all this layer is going to be doing anything for. So I looked at her arms and I wanted to add just kind of a slight orange tone to match. I'm going to turn it off to match her face a little bit. So I went there to midtones, starting in midtones, and I upped the reds and decreased the yellows. And when you increase red and decrease yellow, you get kind of an orange. And then I also increased the greens, which decreased that magenta look as well. And then I went to highlights and I did the same thing: up the reds, decreased the yellows, and increased my greens just slightly. And then what I'm going to do now is take a brush and go to paint and decrease my brush size using my left bracket tool. And I'm going to paint that adjustment onto her arm. Now notice that the moment I pressed paint, that adjustment no longer applied to any other part of the image. So now at this point, the adjustment is just applying to her arms. Of course, I'm doing this really fast, y'all. So if you're doing it for a customer, obviously you'd want to do it a little slower, and you can go up and erase if you feel like you went out of bounds as well. But I think that looks good. Now if you turn that off and look at her arms, and then turn it back on looking at her arms, what we have done is caused her arms to look more like the color of her face. So I'm really, really happy with that. I'm going to show you a couple more things that I would do to this image in Luminar. I absolutely love the tone filter. There's this option here called Smart Tone, and I honestly have no idea what it's doing, but it's smart. It does amazingly smart things. So I'm just going to increase that to about 20, and I'm going to turn it off and turn it on, and you can see that it just added this nice brightness, probably increased the shadows a bit, but just looks really nice. So I'm really happy with that. The other thing I would typically do on a newborn photo is add some softness to the skin, and I want to show you how easy that is with Luminar. I'm going to go up to add layers, add a new adjustment layer, and I am going to go to the basic presets again. So this button down here, categories, shows you the presets categories that you have. These come with Luminar, and they're one of the reasons to buy this software, truly. It's like you're buying a great preset pack. I just went back to basic, where they have this preset called soft and airy. Now if I press on soft and airy, it's going to make it look really soft and we don't want that. But you can go on my cursor's down at the bottom here. You can go and decrease the level of that preset, and I will show you, taking that off, what that's done for us. It's basically like a skin smoothing action in Photoshop. Now the one thing I would do with this is I would take a brush and go to erase, and I'm going to increase my opacity a little bit. And I am going to take it off of certain parts of the image, namely her eyes, which you want your eyes to look sharp. So I'm going to take that off of her eyes and a little bit off of her lips. And then I might take a little bit off of the bow. Oh, that's really sloppily done, but I think that you guys get the idea. So now we have the softness basically applying to her dress and skin. I'm going to turn it on. There's on, and there's off. Isn't that beautiful, y'all? And it was so simple. I did not have to brush over her whole skin. I'm so excited about that preset. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time the before and after, going up here to this part. Oh, sorry, you have to press done first. Press done, go to the before and after. Here's the before, here's the after. I think that we did a fabulous job. I also want to show you that for this first original layer, when I did that color balance adjustment, you might have been thinking, I would not want to go through shadows, midtones, and highlights and do all of that adjusting for every image. That sounds awful. Well, look what I did. I had those two done, and I just clicked Save Filters Preset here, and I called it Red Skin Remover or something like that, and I pressed OK. And then when I go back to my presets, to custom presets, it was there for me. Now when you do click it as a preset, it does take off your the brush work that you do. Obviously you wouldn't want your brush work applying to every image, so you'd have to go in and paint the filter layers again over the various parts that you want. But that will save you tons of time because all of these settings are already in there for you. So I'm going to say that we did a great job. All right, thank you guys for joining me. Here's the final image again. Thank you guys for joining me, and if you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I plan to produce some more. All right, thank you.